Get to know Taja V. Simpson. She's an amazing storyteller, creator, director, author, and actress. You can watch her in the role of Priscilla on Tyler Perry's hit show, The Oval, airing on BET.
Let's talk about your childhood in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I mean, my God. Southern roots, girl. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. I'm from the boot and I'm proud. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay, well, growing up in Lake Charles, Louisiana was a little bit tough for me because it was during a time where colorism was really big, race and discrimination was really big as the times we are in now, and I was dark skinned, and I am dark skinned, so that was a lot for me. Like, I grew up not being able to play with kids down the street for me because I was darker than a brown paper bag test, right? So that was like my everyday life, my norm. I began being a storyteller when I was much younger. Like, as a kid, me and my cousins would play pretend, is what we called it. And we would act out movies, and we would watch it and do a whole scene and act everything out. My movie at the time, my favorite film at the time, was Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. You are the last dragon. You possess the power of the flow, right? And we would watch this movie every day in the summer, like every day, and act out the whole thing. Who's the master showing up, you know? But at the time, I didn't know that meant I wanted to be an actor. My parents didn't know that. They're like, oh, she has a talent. We should cultivate that skill set. And we're in Lake Charles, Louisiana, so nothing was around to really cultivate that. So it just allowed me as a kid, and I think this kind of went over to being an adult, to have like a really vast imagination. But growing up, I'm the youngest of three. It was all girls. I'm the baby. That means I'm the favorite, clearly. That's all babies would say.
Really?
You know, so it was definitely, it had its trying times, but overall, I can look back now and be like, wow, I started doing this way back then, not even realizing that what I was doing was called acting.
And look at you today. And so you said,
look at me now, right?
You struggled with colorism then. You have West African and European heritage. So I mean, how did that make you feel as a child? Did you feel less than because you were?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I used to sit in the tub and pray to God if he could just make me a little bit lighter, but like the colors in between your knuckles, Lord. You don't have to do it that much because I don't want to make it too drastic. I don't want people to really notice. But if you could just make me a little bit lighter, that would help me out a lot, you know? And as I sit back and think about that little brown girl who would sit in the tub and pray and be so specific, like in between your knuckle color. Oh, wow, that is a little lighter. You know, it's like, wow, that's serious. But it has never really gotten to the point where, let me not say that. It's more so I just had to figure out a way to cope and being in my own skin, so that made me kind of dumb myself down. I didn't want to wear bright colors. I didn't want to do anything that caused attention to me. You know, I was really, really skinny and I had a little bit of a butt, so that became a thing. I never wanted to wear anything that like clothing-wise, that would draw attention to me. I wanted to wear baggy clothes, and baggy clothes was in back then. This is like the TLC era, you know, when they're dressing ain't too proud, too bad kind of era. You know, so that's something but I didn't want to do anything to stand out. Standing out was like, absolutely not, because that would then draw attention and that would draw the bullies even more so. And then I had to work to get through that. How I was able to do that was when I was in junior high school. I was in the 6th grade, and my mom would say, well, when they're saying these things to you, you just say, I'm black and I'm beautiful. And I'm like, why would I ever say that?
Because I'm not. I love it.
You know? And she was like, but you are. And I'm like, Mom, you have to say that. Like, you're my mom. But no one believes that. She was like, but if you believe, it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks, you have to believe it. And so she would tell me to do this, and I'd be like, that's so stupid. I'm never going to try that. She said, if you say it with an air, if you say it with confidence, and you say it just like that, I promise you, over time, they'll leave you alone. I go back to school and they own me, man. They own me. I'm trying not to cry and I'm upset and all these things. And one day I just was like, black and beautiful, but I'm beautiful, whatever. And I just tried to like play it off. And they were like, beautiful. She said you're beautiful, whatever. And they all started laughing. I was like, yep. And I was trying to like pretend like it didn't bother me. But over time, they left me alone. See, words have power, and even though I wasn't believing it at the time, the only thing a belief is something you tell yourself over and over and over again until you believe. And then I started to slowly believe this thing because I noticed the power of confidence, right? The power of saying this thing with conviction made them leave me alone, and then now that I'm not even having to worry about them bullying me anymore. I noticed over time I started to become a leader. Then people liked me and they wanted to be like me. And it just kind of snowballed into that. But growing up, my self-esteem was completely under my shoe. But the words of power that my mother gave me is what allowed me to be able to overcome it and then eventually believe it, walk in it, stand it, and know it.
Shout out to mom. Shout out to mom. For pouring into you, because it could have had such damaging effects if you didn't have that, as a little beautiful, brown, beautiful black girl. It could have had such negative, your life could have changed. You could have a completely different life today because she's so
absolutely.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah. Hey, mama. Shout out, Lena.
So we talked about your early interests. You walked me through, how you tackled low self-esteem in that in terms of colorism. Let's talk about performing arts and what cultivated into a career for you. When did you say, this will be my career?
Yeah, so it wasn't until I graduated college. So my degree is in mass communication with an emphasis in broadcast journalism. When I graduated, I started working for NBC and Fox affiliates, and I was doing news and news reporting. And I would get in front of the camera and, my directors or news directors or whoever I was working with at the time was like, wow, you're so comfortable, you're so natural in front of the camera. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't realize that back then I'm still being a storyteller, right? Because in news, you're telling a story. Now I feel like news tells tainted stories, but back then you told the actual story of what happened. From there, I moved to Houston, Texas, and I ended up getting into this acting workshop. So this is my first time trying anything, trying to figure out okay, I've always had this little buzz on my shoulder, hey, you should try this, you should try this. And I was like, well, let me try to figure this out. So I did, and I enrolled in this acting workshop. It's an acting course. It was an intensive is what it was. And I think I went to maybe 6 weeks or something. I don't remember how long. And at the end, it was a big showcase where agents, managers, friends, and family could come. And I didn't invite anyone because I was like, oh,
let me try this out first before
Let me try this out. Right. Let me see how this goes.
Right.
See how this goes.
I'll tell you about it.
I'm gonna let you know, right? And so I was like, okay, I go, and at the end, I won. Gary Chase gets up. He's like, wow, this is the first time this has ever happened, but we have a person in here who's won 3 awards: the Best Actress, Best Scene, and People's Choice Awards. And I was like, oh my God. And then in that moment, I was like, why didn't I tell anyone? Because I had no one to share it with, Then from there, I did another one of his courses. It was scene study and code reading. And he pulled me aside and he's like, I really think you have what it takes. You need to be in LA. And I was like, that's cool because I've always wanted to live in LA. So I'm actually planning on moving there. And he's like, okay, well, that's exactly where you need to be because you really got something, kid. And I was like, okay, thank you. Then, I moved to LA within 4 or 5 months. I ended up getting an agent. I went to an agent workshop. And out of 53 people, I was the only one they wanted to sign. And then I got an agent. And then
you had never acted anything before at this point? You had never done any?
I did a short film in Beaumont, Texas, because after that, I auditioned for this movie. I got the lead role in it. And I was like, oh my God, I love this movie. And it's called The Greater Ambition. Did well, but after that, that's all I had. And then I went to LA, pursuing this dream of mine of trying to be this working actor. That's the key.
That's a true testament to
acting stage.
That's a true testament to your talent, though. That you didn't have this great, resume or body of work, but the talent was there, and that's what they needed to see.
Amen to that. I never looked at it like that, but yeah, you're right, because I did not have anything on my resume. And then that's when everything started to ebb and flow.
Speak to the person who may have been in your shoes where they want to change courses and go this way and be fearless and bold in that.
Absolutely. So I've had to learn to trust my instincts. I've had to learn to follow that still small voice, your inner spirit, your first mind, a hunch, whatever you want to call it, is all the same to me. I've had to learn to trust that because it never leads me astray, right? So when I decided, I was like you said, I graduated. I started sending out all these audition tapes because you send out your reels, if you will, as an actor, as a news reporter, you do, showing you delivering the news. And after that, when I was moving to Houston, I wasn't getting as many bites. And while I was kind of waiting to hear back from things, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try my hand at this. Let me try my hand at acting. It's something I've always wanted to do. And now I was in Houston, so now there's way more opportunities in a little small town called Lake Charles, Louisiana. A vast amount of opportunity in Houston, Texas. So I was like, let me try it. I've always been a person that wanted to try something. My parents would always say, well, you never know till you try it. Like, let's just try it. Back when I was, in junior high school, my mom would say, just try it. Me trying those things and trying everything got the bullies off me, allowed me to play sports, allowed me to succeed in all these different areas in my life by just trying it. I'm not a person that ever believes in failure. There's such a negative connotation with the word failure. So words have power, but the belief in them is what really gives it the power, right? So if you believe that this failure is such a bad thing and it's so, oh, woe is me, I didn't do well, blah, 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 then that's how you're going to attract it. That's what you're going to attract in your life. I had to change my intention with failure. Failure then for me became something that I learned from. Like, ooh, okay, so don't do that. That didn't really work. Okay, so boom, do that. Boom, boom, like whatever it was. Now it's like adapt and adjust. My waitress job, if you will, was being a marketer. And in marketing, that's what we do. We're marketing something. We put it out into the market. We see how it works. We come back. What worked? What didn't? What can we improve upon? What are our areas of growth? Great, let's try it again. So I just applied that to my life in all things. So I go after it. I figure out what I want to do. I try to give my best to be as successful as I can with it. But it's my first time. I'm going to have things that's going to work. I'm going to have things that's not going to work. And then from there, I can adapt and adjust, learn from it, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then move forward again. And that's for everybody. But as an actor, you definitely have to have that because you have to leave that audition in the room. You have to go give your all and let the rejection roll off your back and then keep it moving. That is my biggest lesson that I've had to learn that allows me to keep going in a business that deals primarily with rejection.
You are so amazing and such an inspiration, and I think that that's going to help someone in a lot.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for sharing that. All right. Well, we have fallen in love with your character as Priscilla on Tyler Perry's Oval. Do you share any characteristics of Priscilla?
I would say the part that I share with her is she can be very meticulous. She works at the White House, so everything has to be in decency and in order. And I think my Christian background gives me that too, because I was a director over a worship arts theater group for like 12 years. And so it was all about things being in decency and in order, you know. I'm like that in my life a little bit when it comes to like cleanliness and work and things like that. So I would say that part of her is me for sure.
I love the compassionate side of your character. You know, I love how you're
Oh, okay, I'm compassionate. I'm compassionate.
Me too. I am that too. No, I love that. I love that we get to see that strong, like that woman that is strong for everybody. You're strong for your husband. You're strong for everybody. You know, and I think that resonates across the screen. You get to see the Black woman, you know, that is not out to have the drama, not out to be, you know, malicious, you know, or backbiting and all of that. You're a bomb wife, a bomb friend. You see what I'm saying? So I love that. And I think.
Yeah. So I got some of that. I ain't think about that part. I got some of that too.
Take it off the box now.
Take it off the box. Well, now that you mention it like that, no. No, I do appreciate that about her. I think, you know, her backstory, or just for the show in general, she's been working in the the White House administration for 4 different presidents. And so she's used to things being a certain way, and she's the resident staff supervisor, so she's used to taking care of everything, serving at the hand of the pleasure of the president and the first family, making sure things, you know, go according to plan, because everything has to be a plan in the White House. However, this is the family. If you guys have not seen Tyler Perry's The Oval on BET, you should, because this is definitely a different kind of family that she's used to. So she has to keep that, what you're saying, with the compassion and keep things in order, and then try to navigate this whole new, outrageous, crazy, dramatic family. Like the disrespect she deals with from the kids and all that.
Right. I love your character, and I'm excited about season 2 of The Oval. So cheers to that.
Ooh, thank you. I'm super excited. I'm reading the episodes now, and let me say something. Y'all not ready for Priscilla in season 2.
No, we're not. I already know it, because I wasn't ready for everything that happened this season. So I already know. Tyler Perry is a legendary creator. So, I mean, and you're pretty legendary yourself. You have over 40 credits as a film director under your belt. I mean, it's safe to say that you're just as passionate behind the scenes as you are in front of them. What type of media projects do you enjoy working on?
As far as, in general, I would probably say film. I'd probably say film. If I had to pick one, I get asked that, and I'm like, I don't know. I love both mediums so much. But what I like with film is that it's a shorter commitment, and what that means is I can go in, do this entire arc of this character, become this completely different person, and then it's like, ooh, a few more months, I'm a whole nother person. So that is exciting. But then at the same time, being Priscilla, I like to see the journey of her and where she's going. So it's just about the journey, and TV is a longer journey than it is for film, but film allows you to get in and out of various different people during the same time you would have been in at one for TV. So I respect both of the mediums. We have to learn about each of them 100%. But at the end of the day, just being a creator, I love being able to bounce around and really challenge myself in various ways.
And on top of all these titles that you wear so well, you're also an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Tell me about the Taja V Simpson collection. Offers 3 lipstick colors. Which one's your favorite?
Absolutely. Okay. So I have to tell you this quick story about my lipstick collection. Because when I said to you when I was younger, I didn't want to do anything to attract any attention. Lipstick was definitely one of those things I would never want to wear growing up because I felt like I was too dark to wear them. Because I was always told you're too dark to wear this, you're too dark to wear that. But I had a couple of friends in my life when I moved to California that would be like, you should wear this color. I'm like, lipstick? That's too dark, but that's not gonna look good on me. I just believed it wasn't gonna look good on me. And then one day, after a couple of years of my friends really trying to get me to do this thing, we were in a cosmetic store and she's like, why don't you try on some lipstick? And I was like, oh my God, okay. You know what? I'm gonna do this. And when I show you that it doesn't look good, you're going to leave me alone. She was like, okay, fine. So the lady at the counter, she was like, what do you want to try? I don't know, whatever you think will look good on me. I just want to shut her up. She's like, okay. So then she brings the lip color out. I try it on and I look in the mirror and I start to cry. And she's like, why are you crying? What's wrong? Take it off. And I shook my head no. And she's like, why? And I was like, because I like it. And it was at that moment, all the burden of this negativity just like came off of me because the words have power and someone's opinion of you doesn't have to be who you are. But I believe that. I believed I was too dark. I believed it wouldn't look good on me. I believed this wasn't for me. So now it's a full circle moment because the Taja V collection, lipstick collection, has 3 different colors. The first color I bought back then was a purple, then I got a red, and then I got a pink. And I just so happened to launch a purple, which is called Triple Thread, a red, which is called Leading Lady, and a pink, which is called Lights, Camera, Action. Right now I'm wearing Triple Thread. This is one of my favorite, like everyday kind of colors. And we're sold out of this right now, but more coming. You know, we're in this little pandemic, so it's affecting shipping and things like that, and it's getting materials to make it. But I'm super passionate about it because it's more than just a lip collection for a beauty product. It's me walking and overcoming into something that I didn't believe that I could do. I didn't believe I could look good in. And then now I look at myself and I'm like, wow, you have to believe in yourself at all costs, no matter what.
Wow, well, I salute you. I love the lip color that you're wearing. I was on your website, so I checked all the colors and everything out, and I love your spirits. I love your drive, and I'm excited that you have always had a tribe around you to fill you up, even when you couldn't fill yourself up. So,
amen. That's important. Thank you so much.
Very important. Well, I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for being an inspiration to myself and to other creatives out there. What's the best way for us to continue to follow your journey?
All things social media is at Taja V Simpson. So that's TAJAV SIMPSON across all platforms at Taja V Simpson.
Thank you so much. You take care.
Thank you.